Welcome to How We Heard It, the podcast about music, pop culture, movies, and more, with your hosts Wayne Bledsoe and Chuck Campbell.
Hoffa a day. This is Chuck Campbell with
Wayne Bledsoe, and
I'm John Baker.
that is hello in Guam in Chamorro, which is the indigenous language for the indigenous people. Yeah. Of course, Guam is a U.S. territory, so English is its official language, but that's what the indigenous people of Guam speak. Guam is, I have a fond memory of Guam. That's like working for Gannett and all the papers they had one in Guam, and I had to monitor all the social media and then all the pings that they were getting on their pages and all that. And Guam had one of the best Instagram pages, and it was just so unlikely, but they did a bang up job. So
the only thing I know about Guam is it was important in World War II.
Yeah, it's just east of the Philippines and north of Indonesia. It's in the Western Pacific. Yeah. But anyway, so today, this one turned out to be took a weird turn. But so last time we did, we went through the top 10 selling albums from each decade, from the 60s to the 2020s, and we would each pick a favorite one and a least favorite one from the group. And we thought, well, why don't we do that in movies?
So, defend your position.
Yeah. And so we're looking at the movies now from the 60s, every decade, through the 2020s, or so far in the 2020s. And the thing there is, first of all, the first two decades, there weren't official box office records the way we're used to. So It was a very inexact science as to what the top 10s were. And I just found top 10s that had subjective stuff in it, and people saying these were popular movies. They weren't really listed by box office take and everything, but there was some box office. Anyway, I looked it up. And
when did they start tracking box office?
Well, it seemed like it was around 80, because I looked it up. I'm like, why am I not finding exact top 10s? And he said it's very, very frustrating to find figures. This is what AI or Google or whatever told me. It's like very, very hard to find anything specific and exact. But starting in the 80s, we got more exact.
Well, that's when everything went to blockbusters. Everybody was talking about, because Jaws became a blockbuster, and that changed the way movies were financed.
Yeah, that's changed the standard for everybody.
Right. So I took what seemed like the most representative top 10s from the 60s and the 70s. There'd be like a movie here or there that would be on and not on.
Right.
So are we going to make any other observations, or are we going to learn as we go here? Because we all three had some revelations here.
Yeah. Let's just jump into it.
Let's just start with the 60s then. Okay. 1960s. We'll do it like last time.
Okay.
1960s, the top 10 on the list I've got is number 1, The Sound of Music. Number 2, The Graduate. Number 3, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Number 4, The Jungle Book. Number 5, My Fair Lady. Number 6, Thunderball. Number 7, Cleopatra. Number 8, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Number 9, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. And number 10, How the West Was Won. Good variety of movies, a good variety of genres there. You've got everything from westerns to children's things, musicals, adventure, historical,
space, sci-fi,
futurist, sci-fi. There's a Bond movie there, Thunderball.
Yeah, I've seen all these, which is not gonna be the answer for later ones,
right?
But yeah, I've seen all these, and the thing that struck me is, number 1, mostly the quality was really high,
right?
But I will say that How the West Was Won and Cleopatra both sucked.
Right.
And they were huge epics that sucked for, 3 hours or so.
Well, I'm told, I discussed this topic last night with my father-in-law, who's also a big movie buff, and I invited him to come be a special guest today, but he was like, no, I'm not going to be on your podcast. But he was saying that How the West Was Won was the first movie, or the first big movie that was filmed in CinemaScope, and that it was mainly just a vehicle to show off that technology, and that it's a whole bunch of disjointed stories that don't really fit together.
Right, it's kind of
They're beautifully filmed, but
it's great cinematography. Yeah. That's the beauty of How the West Was Won. And that's
loaded with stars.
And loaded with stars, and it's kind of like a soap opera or something. They were all doing their own things.
Yeah, it was, but it was awful. It was so boring. It just, I mean,
So is that your bottom one?
that's my bottom one.
My bottom one is Cleopatra,
which is
because
also
it's
horrible.
so long. It's like the shortest version of that movie is
it's
like
really
4
depressing.
hours, and there's some that are like 6 hours long, and it was just like this, just dragging. Of course, it was a star vehicle for Elizabeth Taylor, and it was all about her, and
And Richard Burton.
and yes, Richard Burton, of course. But oh my, I don't think I've ever gotten through it. I've just seen it here and there. It's like I just can't, I mean, I feel like I'm just watching everything move in slow motion.
I watched it. I've watched it all the way through once, and then I've seen pieces of it. It's like, is it really as bad as I remember? And you watch pieces, it's every bit as bad as you remember.
Right.
It's
I think it was recognized, just as an epic tribute to Cleopatra and a big thing for Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, and all that. But as far as just the story itself, maybe not.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
I mean, it's one of those things where you think about. We all think back fondly on these great movies of the past, and it's like, no, there's some really terrible movies that were, big sellers.
Right. And I didn't see these when they came out. I mean, like How the West Was Won came out in '62, but I saw them in layers. So in the '70s, I saw the children's movies,
Right.
like I was saying, like if a theater would have movies for the summer to have something to do with your kid. I saw Sound of Music and Jungle Book and My Fair Lady on those. And I would say of those three, I would like the Sound of Music. So Chuck the Kid liked Sound of Music.
Interesting.
Yeah.
John the Kid
Of the three.
loved Jungle Book.
Me too.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
the I Want to Be Like You, that's got that long scat singing thing in there.
Phil Harris.
I learned every syllable of that.
Oh, wow.
I could just scat sing that whole thing. I love that.
Okay.
Yeah. Now all the songs in the Jungle Book are fun and good.
Now, didn't that one get into some PC trouble?
Well,
Well, I mean,
My thing. Oh, Song of the South. That was the one that was like.
Song of the South has been disappeared
Okay.
completely.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's
okay.
from the 40s, I think. 40s
Oh,
or
was
early
it?
50s.
Okay.
I don't know if any of y'all ever saw they redid Jungle Book pretty recently when it's like really realistic animation, and it takes a totally different tone, but it's really good. I mean, like Shere Khan, the tiger, is terrifying.
Huh.
It's worth watching.
Yeah. Well, it's a great story.
It is.
Now these others, the adult movies, I saw later, like maybe into the '80s, and I remembered I was impressed with the Graduate story, but something seemed kind of already like in '80 or whatever. It seemed kind of anachronistic.
Yeah. Well,
And there was one thing, I don't know what you all think about this. I'm sure you saw it, but at the end of the movie, of course, so you got this dude is sleeping with this older woman, and he's in love with her daughter, and then her daughter's getting married at the end. Spoiler alert if you've not seen The Graduate. And so he goes and interrupts the wedding, and she comes running with him, and they get on the bus, and the bus is driving away, and they just both seem really depressed all of a sudden, and the movie ends.
well, that's the good thing about that movie, and I rewatched it a few years ago, and it doesn't hold up as well as it should. It's very much feels like a '60s movie with the scenes are really long, and there's things that you just think, man, this would never get made today.
Right.
But see, the ending shot to me is perfect because they've done this thing, and they've totally like upset the apple cart.
Right.
She's run out of her wedding, and you get that close up of their faces, like, did
Now
you really
what?
do the right thing?
Oh, so you think they're having second thoughts?
Yeah.
Because I thought, how does it end like that? Of course, I was young and didn't understand it, and
Well, so I saw it when it came out and was way too young and didn't understand it. And then
God, were you way too young for that?
but I love the music. That's what made me
Right.
start getting into Simon and Garfunkel
Right.
because I thought the music was so beautiful. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing I liked, and that's the thing that the '60s ushered into the '70s is movies where the ending is ambiguous or the ending is like not the happy ending that.
So that was deliberate. It wasn't just
Yeah.
like, why aren't they smiling or kissing or something? 'Cause
No,
it's like
'cause-
after all of this, and then the movie ends, and I just found that. I mean, I didn't
that's
think
my
long
favorite.
about it, but it was just like whatever.
That's my favorite thing about it.
Yeah,
is
okay.
It ends with that look, and it's like they're thinking, they're thinking, did we do the right thing?
And then as an adult, my favorite is 2001: Space
too.
Odyssey. Yours too?
Yeah.
What?
I think of the adult movies, that's probably it. And I think Hal predicts AI.
Oh
Yeah.
totally.
And that's that makes it more meaningful now than maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you show it to somebody now, I think they will think it is. I mean, and I thought the first time I saw it, I thought it was slow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have probably seen 2001 10 times at least now. In fact, I with a friend, we drove up to Champaign, Illinois, the place where Hal was developed in the story, and they had a 70 millimeter version of it, and we saw that. And man, I just think it's great.
Yeah. And it set the tone for other movies to come. Yeah. Like you remember Alien and Sigourney Weaver and Mother.
Yeah.
And how Mother controlled everything, and they, but anyway, yeah, and just like where we are now. And
you think about one of the other things that it was amazing then, and it's kind of even more amazing now to think about it, is all the special effects were models. There was no
CGI.
Yeah, there
were no computers.
Right.
So it was all done with models.
Right.
So you had these, toys that they're filming to show your spaceships.
Yeah. Cool.
It was terrific. I do want before we leave the 60s, I do want to mention that just for pure entertainment, and I saw it when it came out, and I've seen it many times since and have a copy of it, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is so good, like start to finish. It's entertaining. You like the characters. It's totally inaccurate. Well, not totally inaccurate historically, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid may have actually been gay. We don't know for sure. But there's some evidence that there's some speculation.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
From the original story, or?
I mean, in reality.
Oh, okay.
So it adds a little bit of a twist to it when you're watching it, and they're basically like sharing this, the love of this one woman, who Catherine Ross is great in it. But it's just a great movie, start to finish.
I came to that late, and somehow I think I saw it as a doubleheader with The Sting, which was years later, but the same. It's Robert Redford and Paul Newman, yeah. And I kind of get those movies mixed. I thought they were both fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was young and I didn't pick up on the gay vibe or anything like that.
Well, in the movie you don't really, but when you read about them afterwards, it's like, oh, that makes a little bit of sense.
They were close, yeah. But and then of course, these were pretty strong movies. I mean, even Cleopatra wasn't horrible. It just needed a freaking edit. And we talked about Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, I think, before, right? We didn't talk about it here. But
we didn't talk about it on air.
That was a real advance. It was a 1967 movie. It was Sidney Poitier. Yeah, and the woman.
Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy were the parents, the white parents.
Yeah. Well, it was an interracial couple, and they were engaged. And so they have dinner with his parents and her parents.
Right.
And the parents were all struggling to cope with it. And this was 1967, so it was
pretty progressive.
Very progressive,
And it would have been scandalous at the time. Back then, just interracial couples were like not accepted.
Right.
Well, and I gotta call out The Sound of Music just because it's iconic. I remember all of those songs as a kid, although it does sugarcoat Nazis quite a bit. But
well, my heritage, not Nazi heritage, but German heritage. But I mean, I like the idea that it was actually in Austria, and Austria's, being part of, everything going on, and it did have the intrigue or whatever of World War II, but also in a child-friendly way, I guess. I mean, it was like serious, but also. And it was iconic. The filming was great.
The songs are great.
Julie Andrews
is
fantastic. Yeah, so.
I hated it as a child, but I've come to appreciate it somewhat as an adult.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It was too sweetsy for me when I was a kid.
Every time Leslie and I go hiking and we're on a big, tall, grassy hill, we all both just break out. And
and who doesn't think of that? I mean, anytime you see hills,
Yeah, that's true.
Wayne, you want to take us to the 70s?
All right, the 70s. Number 1, Star Wars, which is now called Episode 4, A New Hope.
Right.
2 is Jaws. 3 is Grease. 4 is The Sting. 5 is Superman. 6 is The Godfather. 7 is The Exorcist. 8 is Smokey and the Bandit. 9 is National Lampoon's Animal House. And 10 is Blazing Saddles. And I want to say, right off the bat, there's none of these that I hate.
No, No, and look at the variety again. You've got
Yeah.
sci-fi. You've got
So this is the original Star Wars, but then they
yeah,
retitled
that's just
it.
the original Star Wars. They've had to rename it because they came out with prequels and sequels
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
gotta
So it
put 'em in
became
order.
Episode 4. But yeah, I mean, you've got the intrigue of the crime intrigue, I guess, of the Sting. You've got the musical Grease, Superman. I guess that was the first comic book based movie, or at least one
No,
that I
there's
know
other
of.
ones, but that was
First
the
big one.
Yeah.
Godfather. I mean, a lot of people think is that the grandest movie of all. The Exorcist, still maybe the scariest movie ever made. Smokey and the Bandit, National. The last three are all comedies, but very different comedies. I mean, Blazing Saddles, and couldn't been more. What's the term I'm thinking of?
Politically incorrect.
Politically
even then.
incorrect beyond. Yeah, it was a 1974 movie, but good grief,
Well,
Anyway,
Richard Pryor helped write it. That was the thing. They wanted to get
Okay.
Richard Pryor to be the star, and they decided that he was too controversial and got
Wow.
Cleavon Little. But Richard Pryor co-wrote it.
Okay.
So that's why some of those jokes are they sting the way they do.
Yeah, yeah, they do. So what was your favorite or least favorite or whatever?
Well, I mean,
Because these are a lot of just biggest of the big movies right here.
there's like I said, there's so many of these that are absolute classic. But
Yeah.
I think The Godfather. I mean, I would put it up as maybe the best movie ever made. It's
Okay.
definitely in my top 5 of greatest films of all time. So, I mean, The Godfather is my favorite, but Jaws is great.
Yeah.
The
Exorcist is amazing.
the story of the making of Jaws is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because they commissioned the robotic shark, and it took forever for the shark to be made. And Steven Spielberg was brand new, never taking a chance on him. He'd never made a movie before, and he had to try and. I mean, they were on a schedule, and he had to try to tell the story without actually seeing the shark.
Yeah.
And that ended up making it even better. It made it more full of tension, and
He actually had made a couple of movies before. Made the Sugarland Express and then the TV movie Duel.
oh, okay.
But
I stand corrected.
But it was like the first big thing where we're going to
And
take
it went
a chance
way
on this
over
guy.
budget,
Yeah.
and the relationship between Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw is really interesting
Yeah.
because Robert Shaw was a classic British stage actor who, when he didn't have anything to do, tended to drink and drink and drink,
Right.
and he was and
They didn't get along
They didn't
either,
go-
right?
but I think Robert Shaw was doing that on purpose because their characters in the movie are supposed to not get along until the night they.
The night they get drunk together,
Yeah.
that's great because you just see everything dissolve in this bond. And
Apparently on the set, leading up to that, Robert Shaw was like daring Dreyfuss to like jump off the roof and do crazy, stupid things. And as soon as that scene was filmed, he lightened up and they were friends.
wow.
So I think it was method acting or something.
Well, and it had a profound effect on me just because I'm such an ocean bug, and every time I went to I was in the ocean all the time, just over and over, and it really did affect me and everybody.
I know that's tourism at beaches went down
Yeah.
drastically.
It's like, you don't want to get up to your knee even in the water all of a sudden, and it's like I'm the boogie board, body surfing, whatever, and just everyone was like. And we were going to the beach where there were a lot more shark attacks than up in the north where this was, with Massachusetts.
Well, it was. You get something?
I was just going to say I have been pushing and being rejected on an episode of our podcast about classic movie lines, but when Robert Shaw goes, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Or it's not Robert Shaw, it's the guy that plays
Roy Scheider.
Roy Scheider.
Roy Scheider, yeah.
But I mean, Leslie and I say that all the time.
Yeah, and
That's
look, I mean, you look at that. Roy Scheider was in Jaws, and he was in The French Connection and all these other great movies. He's one of those guys that nobody even thinks about him anymore.
Right.
And he was in some of the best movies of the
He's a
decade.
great anchor for a movie,
Yeah.
because he's just
Usually,
like
yeah.
he's like an everyman, and
He's just a
not
real
too eccentric or anything, but
regular looking guy,
Yep.
not real handsome, but
not ugly,
but has charisma.
Yeah. And I was once I finally saw The Exorcist, I was deeply, deeply affected by that one, too, as horror films. That was just
That turned me off of horror movies.
well, it made me think that was terrible, and I can't wait to do it again. It was like it gave me the taste for, and it was just so intense,
And it was an event movie. I mean, when it came out,
Oh, yeah.
you had to, my family, we had to wait through the entire showing before in line, the line that stretched around
Yeah.
the theater to get in.
I can't. How old were you? You were just like
What time did you
13,
get in?
I
73?
guess.
I was 13.
Okay. just like I can't imagine. But and The Godfather, that's like historically, I mean, just like an epic and well filmed. I have to throw this in there as the guy who's always defending women, but the women characters in Godfather are usually cardboard cutouts. But beyond that, it's great filmmaking, a great story, great acting.
Well, but I mean, it is also a movie that is like, I mean, it's pretty accurately depicts how women would have been treated in the mafia.
Yeah.
And Diane Keaton becomes a more pivotal figure in the second one.
In Godfather 2, yeah.
And she's very important in this one, especially for the ending, because...
Well, I'm just looking for anything to ding it, and Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars, like, that was, as far as sci-fi goes, that's also iconic. Yeah. I mean, you're looking at... And Grease, that may be the best musical movie ever made, and it's one I could even watch. I'm not too big on musicals. I mean, just The Sting. I mean, these were all.
Yeah, I like all of these movies.
Yeah.
I mean, and even like my lowest on the totem pole would be Grease and Smokey and the Bandit, but I still think they're good movies.
Yeah,
Jackie Gleason is comedy gold.
Oh God, Jackie Gleason is very funny. I saw it, and
apparently he improvised most of that.
Huh, I don't think we can sufficiently insult any of these movies.
No, and I mean, Animal House. It's like one of those things that they thought was going to flop.
Yeah.
And it was
it
was funny as all get out.
Subversive,
yeah.
And it's got great music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that too.
Because I've got the soundtrack on vinyl, and man, I wore that thing out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So what are you saying, Wayne? Godfather is your favorite, and either Grease or Smokey and the Bandit at the bottom?
Yeah, one of those two. I mean, I don't really dislike either one of them, but you got to put something at the bottom, and those two are my least favorite of the bunch.
I would have Exorcist as my favorite, and then I would have Smokey and the Bandit as the bottom. But again, not because it was a terrible movie or anything wrong with it. What about you, John? Where do you land on all
I have
this?
to say The Godfathers, because like Wayne, I feel like it's some of the best American cinema ever made.
Yeah.
And I am having a hard time because I love Grease, but I think I'm going to put it at the bottom just because.
Okay.
Because
I couldn't do that to Olivia.
I'll have to do that.
But it's a good movie.
It's
a good musical. So.
It's good. It's got good music.
I have to tell you that when we saw it, first time I saw it was at the drive-in, and a friend and I had another friend who was going on a first date with a girl. So we had all sorts of stuff that we tied to the back of their car.
Oh, yeah.
So that when they pulled out, it would make this hellacious racket.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's the sort of thing you do when you're a teenager. At least you did then at drive-in movies.
All right, John, you want to take us to the 80s?
Okay, in the 80s. Number 1, we got E.T., the Extraterrestrial. Number 2, The Empire Strikes Back. Number 3, Return of the Jedi. Number 4, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Number 5, Batman. Number 6, Ghostbusters. Number 7, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 8, Beverly Hills Cop. Number 9, Back to the Future. And 10, a three-way tie with Top Gun, Rain Man, and Three Men and a Baby.
Again, we got some mix here. We've got adventure, we got sci-fi, we got comedy.
This was the decade of Spielberg.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's got,
Close Encounters isn't on here anywhere.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that.
Huh.
It was on the IMDb
I
list.
thought the three-way tie was weird, but that's just what it gave me. And I thought that's, But, well, what's your take, John?
I think Rain Man is probably my favorite.
Okay.
Although, well, I got a soft spot for the original 2 Star Wars movies.
Right.
Just because, I was 80, I was 16.
Right. 16, 19.
Yeah. And then my least favorite, probably Three Men and a Baby.
Okay.
Just seems kind of throwaway to me.
Well, I think these are solid. They're not quite as great as the 70s, but again, these are just... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but they suffer from... They haven't been sealed in amber. And because like the 60s and the 70s, they're just classic movies. And a movie that came out in 2010 hasn't had enough time to turn into a classic.
Right.
I think E.T. stands up as
I
a classic.
think E.T. is pretty iconic, and I guess both of the other all 3 of the original Star Wars, are icons, I think.
Yeah. I think Rain Man gets the edge over E.T., but E.T.'s really good.
Yeah. And
that'd be the opposite.
I like Ghostbusters, too. I thought that was fun.
Oh, yeah. Ghostbusters. The first 2 Ghostbusters were really funny and fun.
And Back to the Future is iconic. Top Gun, Rain Man. I mean, these are, again, not maybe at the level of the 70s, but
Is this the very first Batman?
I think that's the
Burton
Jack
Batman.
Nicholson. Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson was the Joker. Okay.
Yeah, Tim Burton directed it. That's
Right.
why he brought it back. So yeah, it was
And
Nicholson.
I like
Keaton.
Tim Burton.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Batman. I think that Christopher Nolan did a way better job, and I think the second Batman that Tim Burton directed was way better than the first.
Is this the first one?
This is the first one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker, and I honestly think Jack Nicholson was kind of the weak link in that movie for me. You know, and then later on.
But I mean, you look at Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. It's like, what is even happening here? You know, like that was a couple of years ago.
I like that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the trailer made me cringe. It just
The
looked
trailer was
so
cringy. I liked it because it was so weird. And just
okay.
It just threw
I didn't
everything
see
out the
it.
window.
I was so turned off by the trailer.
I think you
didn't
might
see
actually like it. It's really strange.
it.
Maybe I don't know, but I mean, I thought the first Batman was okay, and Prince did the music, but there were a lot of things I thought were disappointing.
Yeah.
But then the second one, the one that came after with Danny DeVito as the Penguin and Pee Wee Herman as his dad, and just one little quick scene after Pee Wee's big scandal, that one is honestly scary.
Yeah, that one came out in the 90s, right?
Who was Batman then?
That was still Michael Keaton.
Yeah, he did 2.
Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite here?
My favorite's E.T. And
Okay.
I agree with John that my second would probably be Rain Man.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think E.T. I saw it. We took my grandson to it when they showed it at the little revival house that we've got here in town, and it holds up.
Okay.
I still got all teary at the end of it, and Walter loved it, and
It's a sweet movie.
it's sweet, but the pacing is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's very well edited. It's very well planned out. The actors are believable. Little Henry Thomas absolutely nails it as the little kid who befriends the alien.
Okay. What's your bottom on this list?
Oh, there's a lot of bottoms on here, but I would probably say 3 Men and a Baby too. I don't like Top Gun either. And
Okay.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, even though I appreciate some aspects of it.
Some mention needs to be given, I think, to the original Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, I'm going to say that's my favorite on this list.
It's a classic movie.
I love that movie, and I love the ride at Disneyland, and I just love the outdoor adventure and the exotic locales, and it's just a good story. And I was the right age for that kind of thing, but
It was Harrison Ford did a great job.
yeah.
He's very likable.
Yeah, and I would watch that on cable anytime it came on. I would just watch it.
Yeah.
So now the second one I'm not as fond of.
Yeah,
but,
and I thought. I liked the first one. It's not really my kind of movie particularly, but I
Right.
thought it was good. But then I saw the second one too, and I thought the second one was really dull.
yeah, it was like 8 years later. And I'm going to join you guys and put 3 Men and a Baby on the bottom.
Who was in that? I don't even remember.
Oh, I
Tom
don't.
Selleck and Steve Guttenberg.
Steve Guttenberg, yeah.
I can't remember who the third
Yeah.
one was.
Please tell me there wasn't a talking baby.
No.
No,
At least it didn't
that's
have
Look
a
Who's
talking baby.
Talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking babies, thumbs down.
Yeah.
Okay, now things are starting to get a little different for us in the 90s. We still got some classics here, I guess. But the 1990s, number 1 was Titanic. Number 2, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. That was the first of the new Star Warses, after the previous. So it came out in 99. So it was, 16 years after the last Star Wars, the previous Star Wars
something
movie.
like that. Yeah.
Number 3 was Jurassic Park, the original. Number 4 was Independence Day. Number 5 was The Lion King. Number 6 was Forrest Gump. Number 7 was The Sixth Sense. So these are good movies.
Yeah.
Number 8, Jurassic Park: The Lost World sequel. Number 9, Men in Black, and number 10, Armageddon.
So what's your favorite from that list?
Well, I think the second half of Titanic was great, but the first half, it was too long. The first half was the romance, and it just dragged. But when it became a disaster movie, I was into it, but I wouldn't put it at the top. I liked the first Jurassic Park. I saw Star Wars: Phantom Menace in theaters. I think that was the last Star Wars movie I saw in a theater, though. I mean, I was already starting to fade, and this is a theme that we've got going on through the rest of the year, is that when they start doing 5s and 6s and 7s, it's like I just kind of check out,
Yeah.
Lion King was, I think Lion King was actually a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Forrest Gump was a great movie.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna go with The Sixth Sense because I'm just that weird guy who likes creepy, weird movies.
I can see that. Well, that was the movie that really, I thought, it brought back the surprise endings and, really started making people think about twists again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's another one. It's paced so well.
Yeah.
It just gets scarier and scarier.
Who directed that? Do you know?
M. Night
Shyamalan. Yeah, that was his first big movie, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one where he says, "I see dead people"?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little Joel Haley Osment
Yeah,
is great.
I don't think I've seen it, but I don't go out of my way
So
to
the
see
whole
scary
thing
movies.
is that Bruce Willis. I mean, we might as well spoil it now, right?
Everybody knows the ending.
After this point, but yeah. And so you've got Bruce Willis is investigating.
He's a psychologist who's been
That's it.
tasked with helping this child who sees dead people.
Right.
He's a
right.
very disturbed child, they think.
Right. And it just has such a blow you away twist at the end that you have to watch it again with
Right.
what you learn from the end of it. And it becomes a totally different movie when you see it the second time.
But when you're watching it, you're seeing the dead people like that he can see. And I think,
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but the scariest one to me was when he's like in the house and the little boy says, "Hey, you want to see my father's gun?" And he turns away and like the back of his head has been blown off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. And he sees all sorts of things, but it's.
And of course, no
all
one
scary.
believes that he sees dead people. You
Right.
know, so they're trying to figure out what's happened to this kid. And everything.
Right. And then the twist at the end.
Oh, the twist at the end.
And it's
Probably the best twist ending
All right.
ever.
Well, now I want to watch it.
It is really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
And I mean, he never made a movie as good as that, even though he's made some really good movies.
Yeah.
He's made
Yeah,
some
that was
lousy
definitely
ones,
his
too.
best. Definitely.
But that's not my favorite, but it's close.
For the bottom, just to get me out of the way, I'd probably have Armageddon. I thought Independence Day and Armageddon were kind of the same, but Armageddon was maybe a little cheesier. But again,
I thought Independence. It was. I mean, it was just a Will Smith vehicle, but
Yeah.
at least it was entertaining.
yeah,
and-
exactly.
And he's kind of funny. In it.
Exactly. So I think there's similar movies, but Independence Day was better
I don't
executed.
think I saw Armageddon. Who's in Armageddon?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's that. Remember? It's that.
No, Bruce Willis.
Maybe.
I can't remember who's in it now either. But
If only there was some
I'll
way
look
to
it up.
find
yeah,
out.
I thought it was okay.
Go on with your favorites and least favorite, Wayne.
My favorite,
look
and this was really difficult because The Sixth Sense, absolutely, I love. But Jurassic Park to me is the one that holds up.
That would have been that was my second choice.
I mean, I
a great
watched
movie.
it not too long ago again, and it's like I was still like on the edge of my seat, even though I've seen it like 5-6 times, and I know exactly everything that happens. But man, it's so well done. And seeing, I mean, it's the first big use of CGI with the dinosaurs, and it's great.
It was so we weren't sophisticated about CGI then,
Right.
so maybe it looked newer and more realistic. But it's so cool to see dinosaurs running. They're running in the middle of dinosaurs, and the little ones and the big ones and the flying ones. It was.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's still scary, it's still suspenseful.
Is that Spielberg?
Yeah, that's Spielberg. But then the follow-up, the follow-up is my least favorite on this list. The Lost World.
Okay,
Because
that's fair.
I just thought it sucked.
It was such a big drop.
Yeah. But, a lot of people slag Titanic, and I thought Titanic was really good.
I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't bored by the first half, but, I was also enjoying looking at Kate Winslet because she's
Gorgeous.
So yeah, real quick on getting back to our Armageddon. That was Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Ben Affleck, and it was an asteroid heading toward Earth and how to intercept it. And Michael Bay was the director. So.
And it's kind of dumb and forgettable in a lot
yeah,
of ways, but
it was fine.
it was entertaining.
Yeah,
It was a
fine.
popcorn movie.
All right, John. What about you in the 90s?
I'm gonna go. My favorite of this group is Forrest Gump. I just love
Okay,
I love the grand
sure.
sweep of time through it.
Yeah.
And I liked all the different characters, and I think it's bordering on epic movie.
I like it a lot too.
And as for least favorite, well, I guess I'd have to have seen it. So I can't say. I'm inclined to reject Jurassic Park: The Lost World and Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. I just have heard so many people say that those middle 3 Star Wars movies are just garbage. And
Yeah, that was the Jar Jar Binks one, I think.
Yeah.
I thought, oh my God! I
was
remember seeing
just
it.
annoying.
It had
I think
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, that
but-
got that going for it.
Yeah,
The only thing going for it.
yeah, but it was just like yuck. I don't know.
And
Yeah,
the kid was terrible.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
everything about it was awful.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
that's a good one to
Yeah,
dump.
I want to throw in, even though it's nowhere near my top, Men in Black,
Good movie.
and that was inspired by a comic that was done.
Lionel Cunningham.
Lowell
right?
Cunningham,
Lowell.
who's
Lowell.
from
Go ahead, I'm
Knoxville. I used to have science fiction writing class with him at UT.
So you know Lowell, or you did know Lowell?
I'd spoken to him. We talked in class.
Yeah.
I slagged his girlfriend's story, but
Oh well.
I don't know for sure.
Let's
I don't know for
let's
sure
stick
that was
with the
his girlfriend.
positive because we're coming up on some more decades here.
But yeah. But anyway, I just think I think the thing to notice here that's different is this is the era of CGI
Yep.
because all these big movies.
Yep. Titanic certainly. Jurassic Park certainly. Independence Day, Armageddon.
Oh yeah, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these
Men in Black.
except for maybe The Sixth Sense, used a lot of CGI.
And the Lion King
90s are the advent of computers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's when I got my first computer.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne. Let's go to the 2000s.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, number 1, Avatar. Number 2, Lord of the Rings. Number 3, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Which is that the third one or the second one?
I thought that was the first one.
Is that the first one?
I think so. I know that the At World's End is after Dead
That's
Man's
right.
Chest.
Okay, Dead Man's Chest. I think you're right. I think it is the first one. Okay, 4, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. 5, The Dark Knight. 6, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Maybe that's the same one. Okay. 7 is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Number 8 is Finding Nemo. Number 9 is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. And number 10 is Lord of the Rings. And the thing about these is it's like nearly all sequels. Movies and sequels are things that were going to be franchises.
Yeah, special effects sequels.
Yeah.
And all the franchises. I like the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I
really
like the
did.
First Pirates of the Caribbean is the Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh, what year was that?
2003.
2003.
Oh,
Okay. So
So-
Dead Man's Chest was 2006.
So this is the second and third one. And
Okay,
I thought
so-
the second one was good.
okay.
The third one I thought sucked.
Yeah, I was done. Avatar, I thought the first Avatar was really good. I mean, it was
liked
real
it.
impressive.
Kind of long, but good.
Very long.
You
Yeah,
know, it's
but-
funny. I didn't see it when it came out because I missed the 3D. And then Sarah loves Avatar.
Yeah.
So when they brought it back before they did the newer one, we went to see it, and I actually did like it.
It's very impressive, yeah. I mean, just when you thought, oh, wow, more special effects, and then you go in there, it's like, wow, they stepped it up.
And
so.
the 3D was really amazing. I'm not a big 3D guy overall,
No.
but that was, man, that's one to see in 3D.
The Lord of the Rings, one of them was enough for me. It was so long. And
Did you read Tolkien as a kid?
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, and I love that J.R.R. Tolkien is in Fackham Hall.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I think I like Finding Nemo, too. I think that's a fun animated movie. It's for children, but it was a good story, and it had, good characters and funny, even for an adult. I would say Avatar is my favorite, just, I hate to say by default, but the Harry Potter movies, I saw a few of them. I guess I was kind of felt duty-bound to see all of them, and the first ones, they were just too young, and I wasn't into that. And then I just got, I don't know, there was a period, maybe third or fourth one, where I thought, oh, these are getting better, and then I just, checked out again.
Well, the thing John and I were talking about before we started is the thing about the Harry Potter books and movies is as the kids get older, the story gets older, darker, scarier.
I didn't think there was enough at stake in the first ones. And
Right.
that was because they were so young, so they didn't want to put them in great peril, like right away. You know?
But by the time you get to the third one, it really starts picking up, and I think it's the fourth one that it's like, okay, we're into adult territory.
What was the one with the Death Eaters or whatever they
Oh
were?
yeah, that's where that starts. I think with the third one is.
Yeah, I remember thinking, oh, this is getting better, and then it got worse again. But okay, so probably third and fourth would have been my favorite, but
Yeah, I like them all. And I thought,
John's just shaking his head.
I never did any Harry Potter.
Well, I thought they were. I liked the books. I read them to my kids, and I thought the movies were surprisingly good and cut out the stuff that needed to be cut out for the most part. And I like them all. I don't put them as my favorite. I put Avatar as probably my favorite of all these too.
What about your least favorite?
Gosh. At Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, I thought it sucked. I thought it was terrible. That's the one that just it just meanders, and it's like, where the hell are we going? The first two were good. And the third one was just like, you just wanted to make some money quick.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp just wanted to act like Keith Richards again.
But man.
And even Keith Richards is like, man, is he going to move on?
Act like Mick.
Yeah. But I think that's what was your least favorite.
I haven't seen enough of these to.
Okay.
I mean, Avatar's my favorite. I loved The Lord of the Rings because I read Tolkien as a kid. Other than that, I hadn't seen any of them, so I don't know.
Oh boy, I would say, jeez, Dark Knight was who was that? That was Clooney.
No. This is when Christopher Nolan started.
Okay.
Directing again.
Okay.
So that's Kristen Bale. That's his first one.
Phew. Well, I'm gonna say Avatar first, Nemo second. For the last one, probably that third Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The At World's End. It was just like, I'm not coming to another one of these.
Yeah, that did it for me. It was just like, don't bother. But the thing with all the Tolkien movies, the Lord of the Rings, I liked them all once.
Yeah, I don't think I would invest that kind of time again.
Well, my kids got the extended versions. Lord Almighty! I mean, it's like,
oh no,
you made the right.
Getting into Cleopatra territory there.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's the first time I ever really realized sometimes what they were doing is you just had a scene that went on so long, one scene, and they would cut it or chop it up a little bit so that you got to the meat of it.
Yeah.
But in those extended ones, it just goes on. Those scenes go on forever.
Right.
And it's like, I don't need this. I don't need to sit and ponder this.
Well, I didn't read the books, so I knew I was never going to understand the story.
I love the books. That was back when I was in a touring band and we were spending long hours on the road, and I would just read Tolkien.
Right.
I'm not big on fantasy.
Did you guys read comic books?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
I read.
I absolutely never read comic books, and then we had a family gathering at the beach. It was a beach in South Carolina. I think it was either Isle of Palms or Myrtle Beach, and so we had family coming from 4 different states, rented a house, and I had these 2 cousins, both boys, older than me, brothers, from Ohio, and one of them especially loved comic books, and we were down there playing games and going to the beach. He read comic books on and on and on, so I thought, I'm going to... it was a rainy day, so I thought, I'm going to try to catch up with comic books. And I started reading, and it's like, I would rather swim with the sharks in the middle of a hurricane. So I had a big turn off of comic books. And I think that's affected, where movies have gone and how I feel about these movies.
Yeah. Well, I did like comic books. I wasn't really into the Marvel stuff. I was more into DC stuff with the Flash and actually with Marvel I did like Spider-Man.
Okay.
And I got
Marvel is Spider-Man and Superman and
Fantastic Four.
What about Batman?
Batman's DC.
Okay.
Yeah, but DC had Superman, Batman, and one of my favorites was Plastic Man.
Oh.
But it's because I like the ones
Was he recycled?
No, his body stretched all over the place. It's pretty funny, but it was funny. And then the original comic book, The Spirit, they were reprinting those when I was a kid, and I loved those.
Okay,
and that was like Will Eisner. Yeah, Will Eisner is the guy who came up with that, and they made a movie of The Spirit, and it really sucked.
Well,
I got into some comic books when I was not really comic books, more like graphic novels.
Yeah,
like The Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
Remember The Watchmen?
Yeah.
And, what's the one? Mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, Mouse is great.
It's incredible. And I do like the graphic art style and good comics.
Yeah.
But
John?
I never read them.
You've got the honors of the 2010s. Let us have them.
All right, here we go. 2010s. Number 1 was Avengers Endgame. Number 2 was Star Wars The Force Awakens. Number 3 was Avengers Infinity War. Number 4 was Jurassic World. Number 5 was Lion King, photorealistically animated. Number 6 was The Avengers. Number 7 was The Furious 7. Number 8 was Frozen 2. Number 9, guess what? The Avengers, Age of Ultron. And number 10 was Black Panther. The only movie of these that I have seen was Black Panther. So that's my favorite and my least favorite.
All right. Fair enough.
The only one I've seen of these is Jurassic World, and it's also my favorite and my least favorite because I can't judge anything else.
Well, I've seen some of this stuff, and even as much as I didn't like comic books and as much of a glut as we have of comic book movies, I still have seen like one or two.
Right.
Deadpool, I was talking about that. I think he's funny. I like Thor. Chris Hemsworth is funny. Venom, Tom Hardy, Guardians of the Galaxy. I like that, and it kind of transcends comic book movies.
I've seen some of those.
And Wolverine, I've liked a couple of those, but I don't want to see them over and over and over.
Right.
And then all the Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman is like just enough of those already. Just please stop, please. There was a Superman in 2025. It was on cable, and I was watching it, and it's like a city was on the verge of collapse, and a woman was trying to drive across a bridge, and all these towers are falling. Presumably, thousands of people are dying.
Right.
But just before it smashes her in her car, Superman stops the building, and she drives on out. And it's like, God, how many times can we see something like this? And what about all the other people that are dying in this mayhem? And he saved this one person. And he's in his tights and his cape and.
Well, see, I saw that one with my grandson.
Right.
And I did like it. But I liked it because it did not take itself very seriously. It had a lot of humor.
I wasn't taking it very seriously
but
either.
if you'd sat in the theater and you sat in to watch it and were dreading it like I was dreading it, I just thought it was kind of stupid fun. And I liked it because it didn't like everybody gets into the Marvel universe stuff and takes all this stuff seriously and discusses it. And it's like I saw it. I'll never think about it again other than when we talk about it. But I had a good time because it was just so.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to say is that I'm not just adamantly against all comic book movies, and it's like, and I've seen a few and enjoyed them, and I actually did see the first Avengers and thought it was fine, that was from 2012, but then the one that came out in 2015 and 2018 and 2019, it's like enough already. Now, I heard 19 was a really good one, apparently. I never saw it, but I have seen parts of these movies. My gym has a cardiovascular theater, and so they show a lot of superhero movies. So for half an hour, I'll be in there on the treadmill or the bike or the cross trainer and see enough of it to know that's all I need to see, and I'm not staying to watch any more of it. So I'm not against them, and I don't want to yuck people's yum. My problem is, my problem is they take the lion's share of anything else you might see. Yeah. You don't see any comedies on here or rom-coms or dramas or, anything. And it's just like a little bit of...
There's nothing other than fantastic storytelling.
Right.
Yeah. I will tell you, though, one of the things about this era that we've gotten into is you're also... This is not just the domestic market. This is the overseas market.
Yeah.
And superhero movies and action movies translate into other cultures better than dramas or comedies. A lot of times
comedies are very specific to nations,
Right. So you're not going to get those. Now that we're reporting the nation, worldwide grosses on movies.
Right.
That's going to skew it.
Right. Well, but like the thing for me is like I still go to movies a lot, and I'll see probably 35 to 40 movies a year, most of them in theaters, not even at home, because I get impatient watching movies at home. It's not the same experience for me because the lights are on and people are talking at full volume.
And that's that's something like my daughter talks about, is she likes to go to the movies because it forces her to not look at her phone.
Laura and I have so much in common.
You do.
That's exactly what I like about it, because you literally have to put everything down and turn your phone off and just stare at the screen, and you really pick up on a lot of things you miss when you're sitting there and the dog comes by and, all the other things are going on. So I still see a lot of movies, but I'm not seeing these movies except in piecemeal.
Well, and I think we've got to figure out a different criterion for making lists of movies for the decades, because if you're just basing it on sales, I mean, that skews the results. It's like Wayne's saying. It's like, it's music it's movies for kids and unsophisticated movie watchers.
Okay. I'm not going to go that hard on it, but yeah, I mean, it is. And music for
It's
kids.
the same way with music, too.
Right.
That's why we've got an AI #1 hit, because people just want oral wallpaper.
Well, I think what we're trying to do, though, is we're see, because I had looked at an alternative to this after we came up with this topic. I thought, oh God, when I got to these 2010s, it's like, geez, how are we going to do this? How are we going to? But I looked at the Oscar nominees, and those are just as obscure, and they're all like kind of motivated by the studios, and the nominees for best films are often very obscure or movies that aren't the best films, and they did so poorly. It's almost like I'm in this gulf in between. I've got there's like the big box office hits that I don't care about.
Maybe we do both.
Yeah.
Well, they've opened it up. I mean, the Oscars have opened it up now, so that used to be it was 5 nominees.
I know,
and
now
it's 10 nominees.
Yeah.
And then they've made room for the blockbuster stuff.
Yeah. They'll drop in a blockbuster or two, and then then they'll get some. And, that's how something like Flow, was it nominated for Best Picture?
No, I don't think so.
It was at least in international foreign film, right?
Yeah, foreign film and animated film.
Yeah.
I think it won animated film.
So, I mean, I'm glad that those are getting in, but a lot of these are, I mean, I know you liked, Anora or whatever that was.
Yeah,
but did you think that was the best movie of the year?
It was one of the best movies I saw that year. I liked it a lot, but, I mean, traditionally, the Oscars would be a lot of things that were really popular, and then things that were just like critically challenging. I mean, it's like when Midnight Cowboy it was rated X when it came out,
right?
And by modern standards, it would be PG-13 or maybe an R,
right?
But it was all because of the subject matter on it. But that was an edgy movie for the time. It's depressing as all get out. It's great, but people back then wanted to see things that were challenging.
Right.
Because that was a thing, it's how smart everybody wanted to be an intellectual. If it was challenging, it could be more popular. Now we've got the opposite thing.
So, where we are now, it's just like, didn't Timothy Chalamet win? Like, you look at like these actors who are like 40 who've been putting in their time and all that, and they've never been nominated, and they're throwing them at the guy who played Elvis and Chalamet, and it's like, it just seems as corrupt. What we're looking at here is just, this is all popularity and what people think are the most popular movies. And they do skew toward a specific, like, young male demographic, because those tend to be the biggest spenders at movies. Yeah. And I go see I've seen a lot of great movies, and they don't show up on this list, and they don't show up in the Oscars, but I enjoy them, and what's happening with the box office is so bad is that all the other genres are being squeezed out. Yeah. And when I go to a movie, like if I go to Pinnacle, they got 18 screens there. The movie I'm seeing is on one screen, usually a small screen, and there'll be 6 or 8 of just one movie that on 6 or 8 screens, and then another one with like 5 or 6. So
it's usually a superhero movie.
Yeah, and I'm in the little theater with 10 other people watching the ones I want to see. But it just, I mean,
I do think that the Academy Awards, I think it's gotten worse because of putting in the more populist movies. But
there's just so much manipulation. It's like the Grammys, maybe even worse than the Grammys, because there's certain actors, who are pushed along or punished.
But you've always had that. You've always had campaigns for people.
Yeah.
The thing with Anora, and it was surprising that you disliked it so much, but it was a challenging movie.
Yeah.
And it was by a director that hasn't ever gotten any Oscar nods before. He was, Sean Baker. He'd done the Florida Project and Red Rocket, and Red Rocket sang like a stone, even though it was really good.
Right.
But I love the fact that here's this guy.
I
most
like
people's
that.
out of nowhere.
I like that. I like a movie that's just good. It doesn't have to challenge me with all characters I don't like.
Well, but that's
give me a good one or two, even if they get killed off in the middle of the movie or something.
But to a large extent, that's what makes it challenging, and and I like those movies.
You like being challenged more than I do.
Yeah,
I'm there to relax and enjoy something funny or fun.
Yeah. We both like popcorn movies. We both like surprising movies, and I think John and I agree on non-horror movies for the most part. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, and we agree on horror movies.
But I like the fact that the Oscars were a critical thing, and if this movie got nominated, generally I wanted to see it just because all these people liked it, so there may be something there.
I tried that game for a while, and I was like, ugh, I don't, there's something else going on here that I just don't feel.
Well, there's tons of those that I hate.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I've got a friend who watches every single Oscar nominee every year, and it's becoming more and more of a burden for him. Yeah. And I'm like, just stop. You don't have to see that. If you know you're not going to like it, why are you going to spend 2 hours of your life you'll never get back watching it?
It's like Wicked,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I know I don't want to see Wicked. Yeah. It's like I saw the trailer, and that was enough to say. And some people are going to see it, and they're going to love it, and not yucking their yum. Good for them, enjoy it. But yeah, I don't think they figured out. I don't think the Oscars. I thought I would see more of these. A lot of movies I see are indies, indie movies. Good Boy. I loved Good Boy. That was just a weird, great movie. And other like The History of Sound, and I don't know, about half the movies I see at the theaters are indies. Or something weird like Fakamal, or something like that. I'm just looking for something to entertain me one way or the other.
Well, you suggested Past Lives, which is one of my favorite movies of the past 10 years.
Past Lives,
but that got nominated.
It did,
and that was
it did. Yeah, I'm not saying they're completely wrong. I'm just saying it seems so hodgepodge that I can't figure out what's going on there. And the box office is just bereft. It's like this is is what's making the money.
You just arbitrarily pick a criterion that you're going to. Find the list. I mean, I think it would be worth doing. I think it would be worth doing this type of a discussion with the winner of Best Picture for each
of the 10
for each
years.
decade.
Yeah.
And the winners would make it better.
There's a lot more chance that I might have seen it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm not sure there is for me, because it's like, but I don't know. I mean, it's like. We'll see, but
I'm not going to go see an Avengers movie. I'm just I know I'm not going to.
I saw the first one. It's perfectly fine, and they saved New York at the end. But they did this thing in it where all these heroes and villains all gathered in the rubble of the city, and they're all shooting lasers at each other, setting each other on fire, and crushing each other with things. Somehow, no one ever dies in all this. And
nobody
it's like,
important.
Yeah. Nobody important.
Just the guy with the red shirt on.
Yeah, thousands of people that aren't important.
Right. You'll say, who's that guy? Splat. Okay, well, I guess he wasn't important. But I don't want to see that over and over and over again like the superhero movies tend to do.
Right. Well, just one more thing because I didn't quite make the point I was trying to make on the Oscar thing.
Okay.
It's what that used to do when you got an Oscar nomination for a movie like Anora or Midnight Cowboy or something like that. It gave that movie a chance of going over to the general public, because they would say, everybody says this is a great movie, says it's the best picture of the movie, or best picture of the year, and then they would see it. And then sometimes it would open their eyes and say, oh, there are other kinds of movies.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's how it's turning out, though, because there are people who were watching those movies and then not liking them and saying, well, I'm just not going to like these movies. And you hear so many people say, I don't watch any of those Oscar movies.
I think to a large extent that's just because the way of our culture has changed. That everybody's used to getting exactly what they want all the time. Yeah. Rather than maybe you might. It's like we always.
You want us all challenged.
Well, I just bring it back to food. I mean,
right.
You try some new food that's got some spice in it you've never had before. The first time you taste it, you're like, well, I don't know if I like this, and then you start craving it.
Right.
That's
a good point.
And that's my problem with how entertainment is changing more overall is you're not being introduced to things you might like because they know how to give you what they know you already like.
Well, 8 of the 18 screens have a superhero movie on
I know.
So you got to go back to the end of the hall, the 200.
It's a converted mop closet.
Yeah.
A mop closet with a flat screen TV in it.
Yeah.
Enjoy your movie.
Your TV is bigger. Yeah, pretty much. I've seen a lot of movies back in that theater number 18.
Yeah. I get real quick. I can't remember what movie it was now, but it was some kind of obscure movie. And I was just loving it. There was nobody in the theater except this couple behind me and my girlfriend. And then I'm just having a great time. And nobody else is laughing except this one other person.
Right.
And it was like, then I get up and it's my friend Ashley Capps.
That's great. Well, for me, the 2010s, let's get off this decade. It gets a little bit better, but for the 2010s, I would say I don't know why they did a Frozen 2, but I would say my favorite is the Avengers, just because the first one was just fine for what it was. And I'm going to put that Lion King abortion at the bottom, because why they did this, I don't know. Did you see the second Lion King? It was the same story. They did a little character development for Scar, so you understand him a little. The first Lion King was great, but it was the same story. It was just, and it was animated again, but it was like photorealistically animated instead of the cartoon version of the first one. But it's the same story and the same songs with only slight modifications. It's like,
why was that
totally
necessary?
I don't know. I mean, they had Beyonce in there, so maybe she sold them some more tickets. But it was only long?
It was a money grab.
It was a money grab, and it was just like, it was the most gratuitous one on this list. I'm glad they made a Black Panther, and I don't blame them for trying again Frozen. But let's move on out of this terrible decade to the 2020s, which still has flaws, believe me. But so number 1, Spider-Man: No Way Home from 2021. Number 2, Top Gun: Maverick from 22. 3, Avatar: The Way of Water, 22. Number 4, Inside Out 2. Number 5, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 6, Barbie. Number 7, Super Mario Brothers. Number 8, Wicked. Number 9, Moana 2. And number 10, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Still kind of a troubling list. What are you about to say, Wayne?
Oh, I've seen 3 of these.
Okay.
I've seen 2.
I've seen parts of most of them.
Well, I still want to see Inside Out 2, because I loved Inside Out 1.
Yeah. Ditto. Inside Out. The first Inside Out was really good.
Is it a horror movie?
No, it's an animated. It's an animated movie.
John, they tore them inside out. There's guts everywhere.
Yeah.
No.
So it's but talking guts. Inside Out is the one you've probably seen where different characters represent different emotions.
Lewis Black is anger.
Oh, yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So you've got and it was well done. It was touching. Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. And Sarah went to see the second one, which I wanted to go see. I think she saw. I can't remember who she saw it with.
She recommended it?
Yeah, she said it was really good.
Okay, I believe that. I liked Barbie. I liked Barbie because it was different, you know. At least it wasn't, and I appreciated that.
And it did not do what I thought it was going to do.
No.
I mean, it really does make some valuable points.
It sticks to its guns with feminism, but it's still, you know.
It was fun.
And Margot Robbie was great.
She's
I mean,
awesome
she was
to
a
look
perfect Barbie, and then the secondary characters were fun.
Yeah, Kate McKinnon is. She's
who?
Great. Kate McKinnon.
Oh, Kate McKinnon. Yeah, she was the weird Barbie, or whatever they called her, the battered Barbie or something. Yeah, it was good. I'd probably put it at the top, and I'd have Deadpool and Wolverine up there too, because Deadpool, that's Ryan Reynolds. These are comic book characters, but he's a very subversive, funny, winking at the camera, making all these funny lines, and then to have Wolverine, he's a more established character, I guess. Having him in as his foil and the two of them working together, it was fine. It wouldn't have been, you know, anywhere near some of these other decades that we have here. But I thought both of those were good, and I think Inside Out, I'd give that a pass. Black Panther, not so much. Wicked, not my kind of movie. Bottom, I'm going to put Top Gun Maverick, because you talk about a cash grab, you know. It's just like, it was a cheesy enough movie back in the day, and to just revisit it, you know, and I know a lot of people loved it, but the best thing about the original Top Gun was the soundtrack.
Well, the only thing that I can say positive about the new Top Gun, which I did not see, is that it was the first big movie that brought people back into the theaters after the pandemic. Yeah.
And there was genuine excitement. We were having, meeting. I was meeting with editors and everything, you know, in other areas. And, everybody was just like, they were so excited. But they thought they were going to feel what they felt the first time that movie came out 30 years ago. Right. And guess what? None of us are what we were 30 years ago. Yeah. So and I don't know. I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. He just really puts me off.
Well, I saw Avatar: The Way of Water, which I thought was good. I didn't think it was as good as the original, but I thought it was good.
Yep.
I saw Super Mario Brothers with my grandson, and it was entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't see it, and they didn't show it at the gym, but I was kind of curious about it because it got better reviews than I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean,
They spoofed it on Saturday Night Live too, which made me want to see it. Yeah.
Well, it was a good kids movie.
Yeah.
And it had enough little adult things in there to make you laugh.
And I mean that's the thing. If you've got kids in your life, then you're going to see some of these movies that maybe John and I won't see. So
Well, I mean, the one that they didn't put on here that should have been is the Wild. I mean, it didn't make that much money, but the Wild Robot was a great kids movie.
You recommended that.
Yeah, but these other ones I didn't see and I don't want to see. I mean, I have heard that I've got friends who really like Black Panther. Of course, that's the follow-up Black Panther.
Yeah, that's not the original Black Panther.
Okay, well, I didn't. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I just don't. We are all on the same page as movies that's just not for us.
Yeah.
Well, I only saw 2 of these, and one of them's my favorite, and the other one's my least favorite.
Okay. What's your favorite?
Barbie.
Oh, right.
I thought it was. I was just genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
Leslie said, "Come on, we got to watch this," and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." And I was pleasantly surprised.
Sure.
I thought it was. It was
funny, but it had a gut punch to it. And
made some really valid points.
Yep.
In Top Gun Maverick, I don't know why. I think it was that initial excitement that everybody was like, "It's great."
Yeah.
And so Leslie and I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, it's the same old Top Gun."
Same old Top Gun.
And
Only
I agree with
everybody's
you.
old
I can
now.
only take so much Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Well.
So there we have covered the movies.
Yeah. So if you look back and you look at those 70s and 80s movies and then look at the 10s and 20s, it's like just the whole business of the movie business has shifted. But I'm still finding lots of movies that I love. I'm just finding them on streaming or in that last
There's
theater.
good
Or we have an
content.
art theater here. I mean, Downtown West has a lot of art movies. So, I'm finding those. And then I'll find the big ones that, that sort of big. I mean, like we liked One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
That was a great movie.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, it's a lot. I mean, it's nice since it's streaming now. Watching all these people on Facebook and different places talking about how much fun they're having watching it.
And last year we also had we had Weapons, we had Sinners, we had I'm sure there was a horror movie. What was it? Bring Her Back
And
I mean,
Companion.
Companion.
Bring Her Back and Companion were both
Yeah,
good.
I mean there were a lot of movies, but horror films.
But those
comedies,
didn't sell crap loads of
Right.
tickets.
Well, that's just it. No horror film, no comedy, no drama. None of those are in here. It's just
I just think we need to come up with a different criterion.
Well,
I just don't know how, but
one of the things that you were about to talk about was like Companions and Companion, the Weapons, and all these other movies. They have a second life streaming, and there's no way to account for how popular they are on
That's
those.
true.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, historically...
we could probably do it most streamed movies.
Yeah.
But if they're all...
Are people keeping count of that? I'm sure
I'm
they
sure
are.
they are.
Somewhere, yeah. But I think...
Now, that would lock out all the indies, because people still... most of the world still won't see Good Boy.
Yeah.
But at least that would get Weapons and Sinners and...
But there's a lot of these movies that, I mean, this happened when TV first came in. It's like, I mean, The Wizard of Oz was not a great big hit.
Right.
It's a Wonderful Life was a flop.
Right.
Lots of these movies that, I mean, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I mean, that was a flop.
Right.
But TV made it like a perennial hit. Everybody thinks these were big movies, and they weren't.
Right.
It was when they got on TV
Yeah.
people could see them.
I mean, Wizard of Oz was always on, and it was Gone with the Wind was a big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a huge hit.
What about A Christmas Story?
Christmas Story was a huge flop. I saw it twice in the theater.
I saw it in the theater. I loved it.
Yeah, I
always
back
loved
and-
it. And now they show it every back to back for 24 hours.
Yeah, and it was a total flop when it came out. But sometimes people are wrong, and then they discover later on. Donnie Darko was a huge flop.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
know
a
you
movie-
like that one. I said, I know you like that one. Was that Gyllenhaal?
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. And it was, I mean, but it was one of those things that once people started seeing it on HBO or wherever was showing it at the time when it first started coming on television, they loved it.
Well, when I saw Midsummer or when I saw a Barbarian or whatever, I thought, oh my God, everyone's going to love this. And, it's like, and I just come out and it follows me home, and I sleep and I wake up the next day and I'm thinking about it. And it's just like, I'm not in this mainstream, so all I can do is bring, whatever I've got.
We've been in a position where we're not in the mainstream because we saw so much at the time.
Yeah.
And we're more judgmental than other people because we've seen so much stuff
Yeah.
Well, that's the same.
and heard stuff.
Same musically when you work in a record store.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
gotta hear the same thing every day. I'm so sick of it, and that's why record store employees listen to African Zulu jive music that nobody can, because you just want something different.
Right. Well, we got to move on to recommendations.
Okay.
Leave this behind. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go with a movie first. We're going to talk about movies.
Okay.
I did see Song Sung Blue, the new movie by Craig Brewer that has Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson in it. And as I expected, as bad as the trailer looks, is as good as the movie is. It's really, really good. And it's based on a true story. And I don't want to give away... some of the there's some of the little surprises in it. There's a couple of surprises that make you feel good, and it is a tearjerker.
It's at the theaters now.
It's at the theaters, and it's about a man, a real character in Wisconsin. Who
It won't be in the theaters when this airs, I doubt.
Okay.
I don't see it.
But it's getting a lot of word of mouth.
Is
so
it? Okay.
It's
Maybe it
doing
will
pretty
still.
well, I think.
All right. Okay.
But, I mean, it's disappointing people because it's not this just rags to riches story that they expect out of a music bio sort of thing.
Yeah.
This is a guy who, at the very beginning, you learn he is a 20-year sober alcoholic. He meets another impersonator or tribute artist. She's like, at that night that they meet, Kate Hudson is playing the character. And she's doing Patsy Cline songs.
Okay.
But they develop a relationship and fall in love and create a partnership over Neil Diamond songs.
Okay.
So it's not a tribute. I mean, it's a tribute act. It's not they're not just trying to recreate Neil Diamond. She sings some of the leads too and stuff.
Okay.
And you really fall in love with these people.
Okay.
And the fact that they get a lot of acclaim regionally. And there's a popular rock band that has them open for them at some point, which is, I don't want to give it away exactly. But they're great. The characters, the thing that Craig Brewer does in all his movies is he sees the dignity of regular people.
Okay.
And
I like that line.
Yeah.
Write that down somewhere.
But other people don't get that. I mean, he's like we talked about before, a pimp who wants to be a rapper, or, this guy that saves this woman from ruining her life. They seem like regular people, and by the end of it, you wish you knew them. It's characters that you never thought you'd want to spend 2 hours with, and in the end of the movie, you wish you knew them in person.
Okay.
So anyway, I highly recommend it.
Okay.
I found a documentary on Amazon Prime the other night that I thought it was great, and it's the Howlin' Wolf story.
Oh.
And it's just a documentary about Chester Howlin' Wolf Burnett, who was one of the original, he's from Mississippi, and he made his first single in Memphis at Sun Records, and then that single became kind of a hit, and there was a bidding war for Howlin' Wolf, some record label in L.A. and Chess Records in Chicago, and so he went with Chess. And Chess was like one of the powerhouse blues labels in American history. They had Muddy Waters. Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf are kind of frenemies. I mean, they kind of backed each other up, but each one of them thought they were the baddest blues guy out there. Chuck Berry was on Chess Records, but man, Howlin' Wolf was just this tower of a guy. He was like 6'5", 300 pounds. Okay. Big old mouth full of gold teeth and snaggle teeth, and he had this guttural delivery of his vocals and on stage he looked like a feral animal. I mean, he just rolled his eyes and he would lick the neck of his guitar and roll around on stage. But they interview his two daughters in this documentary, and they say, that's the way he was on stage. But at home, he was the greatest dad you could ever. He put his family first. At 40 years old, he realized, he couldn't read or write or anything, had no education. So he went back to school at 40 years old and learned how to read or write, and then went to music school and learned how to properly play his guitar, which I think that's pretty amazing. He was the first blues guy. He paid all his band members himself, and he also offered them unemployment insurance, which is kind of amazing.
I had no idea.
So it's the Howlin' Wolf story. It's on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend it.
Okay, I'm going to recommend Roof Man. It came out October 10th, 2025. I saw it on, I'm not even sure where I saw it. It's on Amazon Prime and Paramount Plus, and I don't know. I saw it on one of these things. And it's directed by Derek Cianfrance, who did The Place Beyond the Pines and Blue Valentine. Yeah. But the important thing, it's a real-life story about this guy in Charlotte, North Carolina, who became known as the Roof Man because he was a criminal, and he would cut into mainly McDonald's. He would climb up and cut in through the roof and drop into McDonald's and rob them. And he robbed like 40 different businesses. And he's played by Channing Tatum, who's 45 now. And he went to prison, and he escaped prison. Now, when he escaped prison, he stayed in Charlotte for some reason, and he finds a place to live in a Toys R Us. Now, this was set like 20 years ago, so Toys R Us was still around. And he found like a false wall in a Toys R Us and kind of created his own little apartment in a Toys R Us. And he rearranged the security cam so that they weren't filming anywhere he would be anymore. And he kind of falls for this woman who works at this Toys R Us, and that's played by Kirsten Dunst. And Peter Dinklage is the manager of this Toys R Us, and he's good comic relief.
Yeah, he's great.
And I thought it was going to be a comedy from the preview I saw and everything, but it turns out to be a pretty serious. It's like Channing Tatum does a great job here. He's like a really well-rounded character, and he's got a second chance at life, and he's like starting over and reinventing himself. He meets Kirsten Dunst. He finds out where she goes to church and meets her there. And also... Whoops. I've lost my train of thought there. So, and she has two daughters. So she has a teenage daughter who's kind of a sour, sassy one, and then a sweeter, younger one. But he endears himself with them, and he becomes part of this family. And all the time, you know that this is going to catch up with him. You know, someone's going to figure him out, or all this. And so there's that tension there. But he's truly in love with this woman and loves her daughters, and she loves him. And she's, you know, and he feels guilty because he knows that, you know, she's been misled before and she's had a bad life. And it's just an emotional story about this man who, you know, had a chance to start over, and then he put himself at risk, and then he brings other people along who can be, you know, hurt really deeply by what he's doing, but he's just so in love with this new life he's got. So it ended up being far more serious than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really. I mean, the way it looked, it was going to be really light and
totally
silly.
Comedy. Yeah, and like I say, Peter Dinklage. There are some funny scenes. Yeah. There's a whole lot of naked Channing Tatum in there for people who want that. Yeah, he's. It ends up being pretty touching, and both he and Dunst both really turn a good story. You know, they're two 40-something people, and so anyway.
Well, I mean, I'll see Kirsten Dunst in about anything. I just think she's a great actress.
She's great. She's great. So anyway, that's Roofman.
Cool. Good deal. Well, I'll recommend, because John and I were talking about it before we started, the Laws album from 1990. They only released one album. It took them forever to make it because Lee Mavers, the main singer-songwriter, was never happy with anything, and Stevie Lillywhite was pretty much forced by the label just to go ahead and finish it and put it out. And then Lee Mavers never wanted to do anything else again,
right?
Because he was mad about it. But it's a classic, great album. Everybody knows the song "There She Goes."
Yeah,
and that's just one of the great songs on
right.
it. And
now, was that about heroin?
Maybe. I mean, he's never said one way or the other. But
right.
If you can listen to it and think, yeah, maybe he's talking about heroin, but for the rest of us, it's just like, you know, a good-looking girl.
Right. Right.
But you can take it either way you want. But I just think it's a terrific album. You ought to hear it. And it's one of those weird things where somebody released one and was done.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to recommend, let me find it again. I just got recommended this, and it's a band called Sharp Pens. And it's basically just one guy, kind of lo-fi DIY guy from Chicago. His name is Kai Slater. He also plays in a group called Lifeguard. But it's strings together short poppy, jangly songs in kind of a lo-fi setting, and then they'll just stop and change to something else. It very much reminds me of Guided by Voices and maybe a little bit of, I don't know if you've ever heard the Loud Family, which was Scott Miller's band. Not Scott Miller from the V-Roys, but Scott Miller from Game Theory, where he would just record random stuff for just like 2 or 3 seconds and then change into a song and then play a verse and a chorus and stop and do something else. But it's all super catchy. It's called Sharp Pens, and they have 3 albums. Their newest one is from this year. Oh,
okay.
Wait a minute. It's called Balloon, Balloon, Balloon. and it came out November 21st of 25. It's got 21 songs on it, and it's only 44 minutes long.
Wow.
So it's just little
That
blasts.
sounds like my kind of album.
Yeah, it's just little blasts of
That's all I need.
pop
2
pop
minutes.
genius.
Yeah, very guided by voices sounding overall.
Yeah.
Well, for music, I'm going to recommend. This is in honor of The Sound of Music, who was the #1 movie from our first decade here, 1960s. Dream of a Little Dream by Pink Martini and the Von Trapps. So Thomas Lauderdale, Pink Martini is a big band jazz classic pop kind of outfit, and they're very showy and fun, and they do like different things all the time. And Thomas Lauderdale is the leader, and they released this album in 2014, which was the 20th anniversary of Pink Martini, and I think the 50th anniversary, is that right, of Sound of Music, or around then. And so he brought in the Von Trapps. They're 4 singing great-grandchildren of the people that Sound of Music was based on.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
and one of them is a songwriter, so they do a few of his original songs. August Von Trapp, got to get this right. But they also do some Sound of Music songs. They do Edelweiss and Lonely Goat Herd, which is like a lot of fun. And they do other things. They do ABBA's Fernando, and they kind of speed it up and turn it into a party song, which I don't know how that works. And of course, Dream a Little Dream, that was the big Mama Cass hit.
Yep.
They copy that. They do like a China song, a song from China, a song from Japan, and a song from Rwanda. So it's sort of a hodgepodge, but it's really fun. And they always have fun. They're always easy to listen to, and it's a great change of pace from anything else you might listen to.
I like the fact that they do all sorts of crazy ass.
They
projects.
do. They had one album they did 9 different languages on. So,
Wow.
But this is Dream a Little Dream by Pink Martini, Portland, Oregon, and it was released in 2014.
Cool.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, we'll head out of here then. If you have any questions or comments or ideas for us, you can write us at howweheardit@gmail.com. How We Heard It is all over social media. We're on YouTube and Facebook and X and Instagram, and I'm going to forget Reels and TikTok. So you can find little promos and stuff for our episodes, current episodes, past episodes, and we're going to move along now. So we'll thank you for joining us, and I'll catch you later.
You've been listening to How We Heard It with Chuck Campbell and Wayne Bledsoe, a podcast about music, movies, art, culture, whatever it is that's on their mind. How We Heard It was recorded at the Arbor Studio in Knoxville, Tennessee by me, John Baker. How We Heard It is a Cozy Planet production. If listening to this podcast has given you a burning sensation, then we recommend you sit in a hot tub until your symptoms fade away. If you'd like to reach out to Chuck or Wayne or even me, you can send an email to howweheardit@gmail.com. So thank you for listening, and come on back and we'll have another episode for you next week.